Hello everyone, welcome. So on the agenda for today, we are going to go through quieter practice. We're going to study the link between asana and pranayama. So we're going to look at some familiar asanas, but make the focus of the exploration be about breath. And for those of you who maybe are at the beginning of your pranayama journey, you're maybe intrigued, interested, but don't quite know where to begin, this is a nice segue into that world. And even for those of you who may have some experience, but it would not be unusual to find that pranayama is hard. It's challenging. It's challenging to sit still, to quiet the mind, to be with the breath for the amount of time that is required in a practice. These tools as well, the way that we're going to study this link between asana and breath may come in real handy. Okay, so it's a lovely practice. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you find it informative. All right, let's begin. To begin, have a seat in swastikasana, cross-legged position, with your vertical bolster, like, right, so that there's this runway behind you, and create for yourself a broad base for your swastikasana, meaning don't pull your legs in really close, your feet really close towards you, but move the ankles away from you and see if you can let your knees drop down. Okay, then use your hands and just spread that junction between the back of your thighs and your buttocks. And then take a moment here and connect with your base. So feel where your buttocks are touching the setup, feel where your feet are touching the floor, and then very intentionally descend into those points and ascend up through the crown of your head. Okay, anchor down through the corners of your hips and then lengthen upward through your side trunks. Avoid leaning forward or back, but just find your exact center. And you can use that reference of your buttock bones to your setup to see, are you leaning a little forward on them or back, right? You want to perch yourself up right on the very center point. Now take a few breaths here. Inhale, lengthen upward. Exhale, maintain that lift. Okay? Inhale, find the lift, find the length. Exhale, keep that lift and length. Okay, go for a few rounds of breath with that as your focus. On the inhalation, lift upward, and then maintain that lift and exhale. Exhale fully. Okay, one more round. Inhale, find the lift, find the length. Exhale, maintain that lift and length. Okay, now we're going to go for Parsvaswastikasana, so twisting. Okay, take your left hand across to your outer right leg, throw the right arm behind you on this excess here of the bolster, and now again working with the breath here. Inhale, lengthen upward. Exhale, turn yourself. Okay, turn the abdomen, turn the ribs, roll that back shoulder back. So come into your twist, your full twisting position here, and then turn your focus once again back to the breath. Inhale, lift upward. Exhale, can you turn a little more? Okay, it's not so much about turning the head, but can you turn in the torso? Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist around. All right, then come back. Be in the center for a moment. Take a few breaths. Inhale, exhale. Okay, notice again if you're still centered on your buttock bones. If you found that you've fallen back a little bit, you just got to tilt yourself a little forward on those buttock bones. If you have a tendency to overdo that, then perhaps you got to move backwards a little. Okay, gauge yourself, and then from the very base of the spine to the base of the skull, see if you can penetrate from back to front. Okay, buttock bones down, crown of the head, ascend upward, and then move the back body into the front body. All right, twisting yourself now to the second side. Take your right hand across, left hand behind you. Now inhale, lift up, exhale, and turn yourself. Okay, lift and turn, lift and turn. And then come all the way around into your twist. Remember, don't be aggressive with the neck. So it's not so much about the head. You can just keep the head in line with the sternum, breastbone area. And then go back to your breath here. Inhale consciously, lift upward. Exhale, can you twist around a little more? On the inhale, find the lift, find the length. Exhale, release any tension and turn more. Inhale, lift. Last one. Exhale, turn some more. Okay, and then release again. Come back to the center. Observe the front body, back body. Take a few breaths. Okay, now just change the crossing of your legs here, and let's go for one more round of Parsvaswastika. Okay, inhale, find the lift. Exhale, turn yourself. Okay, the limbs need to work, so you use your arms as you know how. With the front arm, pull yourself around. With the back arm, right, you're going to roll that shoulder back and just sort of push off the setup to move the back in towards the front. Okay, and then lift up, and with each exhalation, can you turn a little bit more? Turn the abdomen, turn the rib cage. Exhale consciously, let it out, and revolve. And then again, release, come back to the center. And last time, Parsvaswastikasana, twisting to the left. Right hand across, left hand behind you, lift up, exhale and turn. Lift and turn. Inhale, exhale. With each exhalation, can you release the tension in the shoulders? Can you turn a little bit more? On the inhale, find the lift, find the length. On the exhale, revolve yourself around. All right, and then release and come to the center. Next up, you're going to go for Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, downward facing dog, and you're welcome to take additional support if you would like to have your hands into the wall or your heels into the wall. Feel free. I suggest going for some head support. So I'm using a bolster here. If you need a little higher, put a blanket on top or just lift it up. You can even put a brick underneath to angle it to get some more height. The idea is that you're building the height up to meet your forehead. You're not forcing your head down to meet the setup. Okay, there's a difference. And then lift yourself up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, tuck the toes under and then lift up and back. And take the first, few seconds here in your pose to just build the physical structure of the asanas, right? So especially when we're holding the asanas for longer duration, you want to set it up so that at first you take the shape. So what are the legs doing? Lift the kneecaps, lift the thighs, move your thighs back. What are the arms doing? Push your hands into the floor, rotate your upper arms outward, push off the floor, reach your hips back even more. Okay? And then once those arms and legs are working, you can just release your head to a neutral position and it should touch your setup. If it's not, then add additional height. Okay? And then the way that the forehead is touching, it should be such that the skin of the forehead is just gently being encouraged to move towards the bridge of the nose with the help of the support. Okay, so there's just like a gentle pressure in this direction. That's how you have yourself positioned. Okay, and then be here. Once you've satisfied yourself that your limbs are in a good place, that your props are serving you, then see, can you turn your attention towards your breath? Inhale, exhale. Notice for yourself the quality, the texture, the rhythm of the breath. These are not the same in each asana. It changes. Now we're going to go for a playful exploration here in Adho Mukha Svanasana. And I'll preface it by saying if you need to come down, rest for a moment, and then go back up, by all means, you do that. Okay, you're in charge then. Okay, now inhale up front of your legs. So kneecaps up, thighs up. Inhale up the front of your legs. Now exhale, push the floor and penetrate your groins from front to back. Move those legs back. Okay? Inhale up the front of your legs. Exhale, move your thighs back. Go for a few rounds of breath with this as your focus. Lift up through the front of your thighs as you inhale. Exhale, move your thighs back. Penetrate your groins from front to back. And as you continue with this exploration, notice the impact that it has on your abdomen and the quality and texture that it has on your breath. Okay, equalize the touch, right hand and left. Inhale, lift up through the front of the legs. Exhale, push from the arms, move your thighs back. One more round. Inhale, up the front of your thighs. Exhale, move the legs back. Okay, and then release and come down. Okay, next up, you're going to sit in Virasana. Okay, and in this Virasana, it's knees together, feet just wider than the hips, and even if you can sit on the floor, take height. Take a little bit more height than maybe you normally would, and really see that the pelvis is upright. Okay, in Virasana, often we're a little bit like this. Okay, maybe there's tightness in the thighs. There could be a few different reasons, but see that the front of the pubic area here is lifted up, anchor down through the corners of the hips, and sit really tall. Okay, now press the tops of your feet down, press your ankles down, press your shins down, anchor down through the hip corners, and then push off yourself to lift your chest. Okay, take a few rounds of breath here. Inhale, exhale. And again, we can be playful with the breath. Okay, some of these explorations are really just suggestions. They're ideas that I play with in my practice. I'm suggesting them to you. See if it resonates, see if it lands for you, and feel free to explore other ways of working with the breath if something else feels more natural or effective for you. Okay, but in this seated position, the idea is inhale. Let's try this. Inhale up the front body. Exhale down the back body. Okay, so eyes just forward facing, neck straight, and a few rounds of breath here. Inhale up the front body. Exhale down the back body. Okay, now just to give you an example of how you can work similarly but different, I'll give you another breath exploration in this seated position here. Okay, so another way that I often like to work, as you inhale, lengthen upward. As you exhale, don't lose that lift to the chest. And instead, soften the abdomen. Okay? Inhale, lift up through the front body, up through the side body. Exhale, maintain that lift. Allow the abdomen to recede back and down. Okay, go for a few rounds of breath now with that as your focus. Inhale, find the lift, find the length. Exhale, keep that lift and length. Okay, inhale, find the lift, find the length. Exhale, soften your abdomen back, maintain the lift in your chest. Continue on for just a couple more rounds in your own timing. And then allow your breathing to just be at its normal pace. Okay, unmanipulated. Okay, as we go through these different exercises, please understand I'm not insisting or even suggesting that you exaggerate the breath. Okay, sometimes things happen very organically, naturally. You're more than welcome to go with whatever's happening for you, but don't feel that there is a need to do that. And whenever you observe the breath, inherently it just changes. That's, the nature of watching it will change it. So that's one thing to be mindful of. And also be mindful that there never ever should be a feeling of gasping for air. Okay, in that case, something is incorrect. We're doing something wrong. So just watch for that as well. Okay, if you need to stretch out your legs from this Virasana, you can go one more time, Adho Mukha Svanasana, Uttanasana, one of the two, just to straighten the legs for a moment. And then again, sit back down in Virasana. We're going to go next for Parvatasana. Okay, so here you interlace your fingers and reach forward like so, and then raise your arms up. Okay, push your thumbs together and then reach higher and higher. Okay, press your feet down, ankles down, shins down, extend up into your wrist. Turn your upper arms, those outer upper arms forward, reach higher, and then move the arms back. Breathe. What is the breath like now that we've ascended the arms in this manner? Where does the breath begin? Where does it go? Does the breath gravitate to the center of the body? Is it more along the front body, back body, side body? Observe this. Inhale, exhale. And then release. Lower your arms down and just pause for a moment. Okay, so now there is a shape to the breath, and asanas themselves are shapes. And so the shape of the asana will have an effect on the shape of the breath. Okay, so taking the arms up, we're elongating the torso, right? And the chest box where the lungs are. And so this is going to have an impact on the sensation, the texture, the shape of the breath. What I want to do next is an exercise where we're going to elongate the inhalation. We're going to stretch it out a little bit, by just letting out a little bit of air along the way. Okay, so you're going to inhale maybe about 2/3 of the way, just not a full inhalation. You'll inhale, then let a little air out, and then continue the inhalation. And you can do this maybe 2, 3, 4, see what's sort of natural for you, how many little exits of exhale you wanna let out as we go along the way. Okay, so I'll guide, but please do check in with yourself and follow what feels. There's no strain, right? So what feels natural for you in this press. Okay. In your seated position, again, find the base, press those feet down, shins down, anchor your hips, lift upward. Now use the second crossing of your fingers, Parvatasana, push the thumbs and raise the arms up. Just as I mentioned in Adho Mukha Svanasana, take a second to first work with the physical structure of the pose. Press down into your base, reach up into your wrist. Rotate your upper arms out and then move the arms back, open your chest. Okay, now breathe. Inhale, exhale. Okay, and then with your next inhalation, inhale about 2/3. Let a little bit of air out and continue the inhalation. And then a little bit of air out, inhale some more. Little bit of air out, complete your inhalation, exhale. And exhale completely, and then just breathe normally. Inhale, exhale, and go for another round. Let the air out from your lungs, and then receive your inhalation. Inhale about 2/3. Let some air out, and continue the inhalation. Let a little bit of air out, and again continue the inhale. If that's the end, that's the end. If there's one more round, go ahead. And then smooth, steady, exhale completely. Let this transition into unmanipulated breathing. And then release. Undo your arms and pause. Okay, come up over yourself. And again, straighten your legs so you can come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana or Uttanasana, but just press those knees back, thighs back. Okay, and then release. Okay, now let's go for Uttanasana. Okay, so you're going to stand with your feet a little bit apart, exhale completely, and come forward. Okay, again, take the first little bit here in the asana to work out the physical structure of your asana. And you work a little bit with the physicality of the pose. You can walk yourself through all the instructions you know and just sit yourself up in Uttanasana. Okay, big broad feet. Spread and open through the soles of your feet. And then from the back of your knees to your heels, push down. But from the back of your knees to your buttocks, lift up. And then release the torso down any amount. Okay, you can cross the forearms and just let the arms be awake. Okay, if your hands touch the floor, you can slide the knuckle side of your hands back like this. Right? So you're not working against gravity, you're letting gravity work in your favor. Let go through the back of your neck and be here. Inhale, exhale. Now stay in this Uttanasana. Bring your attention towards the breath and see what happens if you use your inhalation to go down further. Okay, so you're going to go for 3 rounds of breath, and with each inhalation, lengthen yourself down a little more. Okay, inhale, lengthen the torso down your legs. Exhale completely. Inhale, lengthen your torso down your legs a little more, and then exhale. One more. Inhale yourself down your legs. Exhale. Okay. And then slowly release. Come to a concave back position. Hands in front. Extend your breastbone forward. Now firm your heels into the ground with absolutely straight legs. One hand to your hip, other hand to your hip. Wrap your elbows back. And with a lifted chest, come up, stand in Tadasana. Okay, notice yourself in this Tadasana. The asanas themselves have an impact, make an impact, but that impact is not just while you're in the pose. There's an after effect of each asana. So observe that. Observe the state of your body, the state of your breath, and the state of your mind coming out of the pose. Okay, let's go next for some standing poses. So we're going to go for Utthita Trikonasana. I'm standing here with back leg into the wall, and I'm going to take my Trikonasana like so. All right, if you prefer, you want to have your hand on a brick or on a chair, then take that. Okay, understand when we practice in this manner, this is not the time necessarily for going for the deepest Trikonasana you've ever taken, right? We're going more so for duration, right? It's a different approach. How you do the pose is going to depend on why. So understand that and give yourself a setup that's going to allow you to stay in the pose and turn your focus toward the breath. Okay, so for me, having my back leg touching something that gives me really nice support, I'm going to go with that. You decide, do you want that? Do you want to be in the middle of the room? All is okay, but understand you're going to be staying in the asana for perhaps a little bit longer than you would otherwise. Okay, so go ahead, spread your legs, and turn your right leg out. So left foot, I'll say into the wall, but you choose the setup that works for you, and then turn the right leg out, straighten both legs, and hinge to the right side. Keep your back hand on your hip, wrap that elbow back, and turn your torso up to the ceiling. Okay, basic shape here, Utthita Trikonasana. Straighten your legs, turn your right thigh to the right, left thigh to the left, and revolve your torso up to the ceiling. Okay, now turn your focus towards the breath. Inhale, where does the breath start? Where does it go? Exhale, how does the breath travel? Okay, just take a few rounds of breath, observing the quality, texture, the pattern inside that the breath takes. Okay, now let's play with the breath pattern. And so now as you inhale, can you inhale from the breastbone up towards, or inhale up the front body, okay? Pubic area to navel, navel to breastbone, and then lift the chin away from the chest. Now exhale, and from the outer hip to the ankle bone down. Okay, exhale down the outer line of your back leg. Inhale up the front body, chin away from the chest. Exhale from your outer hip to your ankle bone. Go for a couple rounds. Inhale up the front body, chin away from the chest. Exhale, outer hip to ankle bone, push the wall. Okay, and then come back up. Turn your foot in, walk your feet together, and stand in Tadasana. Okay, turn yourself around and go for the second side. Okay, this time you're going to have your right foot as the back leg and turn your left leg out. Okay, so I'll go this way for you, but back leg into a wall. Okay, turn your front leg out, straighten both legs, rotate the thighs out, exhale, hinge to the side. Okay, be in your asana. Back arm here, just don't raise the arm up, wrap the elbow back, roll the shoulder back, turn yourself from left to right. Okay, then chin away from the chest. Take a few breaths, inhale, exhale. Okay, now go to that same exploration. Inhale, up the front body, and then chin away from the chest more. Exhale, outer hip to ankle bone, cut it down. Inhale, up the front body. Exhale, down the outer line of the right leg. Go for a few rounds of breath with this as your focus. And can you use this breath pattern to elongate the torso? Can you use this breath pattern to stabilize your legs and your pelvis? Inhale, up the front body, chin away from the chest. Exhale, outer hip to ankle bone, cut it down. Okay, inhale, come back up. And again, walk your feet together and stand in Tadasana. Now let's go for Utthita Parshvottanasana. I'm going to show a presentation with chair. Again, you can take any presentations of these standing poses and explore your breath. So you can make that decision. But again, this is my suggestion for it. Okay, so when you work on the chair, you want to sit. Sometimes I like to start sideways like this so that you can sit right back and hook the back of your knees at the edge of the chair there. Okay, and then if you notice my angles here, hip and knee, okay, if you, my hip is higher than my knee. Can you see that? It should be either in line, maybe a little higher is fine. But if when you sit, you're almost sitting in a bucket where the buttock is low and the knee is high, if you're much taller, then you'll be better served to put some height under your buttock. Okay, the brick on the slippery chair is not a good idea. You would put rubber first, but just to show you, it can be, doesn't have to be on the whole chair. It can be just under the buttock there, and then you get this angle. Okay, and it will serve you better for the duration of the pose. Okay, once you've worked that out, let's have the right knee well hooked there, and then open yourself up. Extend the leg back for, you're in almost like a Virabhadrasana. Okay, plant your right foot down, externally rotate the thigh, and then turn your abdomen away from that bent leg. Now press your left thigh back. Okay, swing your left arm behind you to get a hold of the chair. Okay, just check in and see. The left buttock should actually be off the chair. It's just hanging in space. Okay, otherwise, if it's not, it means that your knee isn't touching, right? Get it right touching there so that way you'll have the option, the ability to push the thigh back. Okay, so swing the arm back. Now exhale and hinge to the right. You can just rest your forearm on your leg here. Utthita Parshvottanasana. Straighten your back leg. Push into the front foot. Externally rotate that leg. And now turn your abdomen from right to left. And you're holding the back of the chair with your hand there. So you can wrap that elbow back, shoulder back, and turn yourself. Okay, be here, breathe, understand the shape of this asana. And now explore the breath. Inhale, similar to how we did in Trikonasana. Up the front body, chin away from the chest. Now exhale, turn yourself more. Okay, turn the abdomen, turn the ribs. Without being aggressive in the neck, you can turn the head a little bit too. With each exhalation, get a little more rotation. With each inhalation, get a little more length. Okay, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn. Straighten the back leg. Rotate your front leg out. Turn yourself. Stay with this focus. Inhale, lengthen the sides of the torso. Exhale, turn the torso up toward the ceiling. Almost like you can lean back into the frame of the chair. Okay, and then release. Undo yourself. You can join your legs and just sit for a moment. Okay, swing yourself around for the second side. Left leg is front, so hook the knee, and then right buttock is hanging off the chair. Open up, you see this L shape here. Swing the right arm behind, hold the chair frame, and extend that back leg to straight. Extend it. Okay, the tendency will be for it to be forward, but can you take it back? Take it back. Move that thigh back. Again, press into your front foot, revolve the leg. Now exhale, hinge to the left, and turn yourself. Okay, turn the abdomen, roll your right shoulder back, Uttita Parshvottanasana. Now inhale, lengthen the sides of your body, lift the chin away from the chest. Exhale, turn a little more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn. Inhale, lengthen the side trunk, lengthen the front body. Exhale, revolve yourself. Breathe into it, see where it gets you. Okay, while you're at it, you can also add that exhaling down the back leg. Especially if your tendency is for that back leg to bend a little bit, then exhale down the outer line of that back leg and see what that gives you. Right? So again, there's many ways to explore. Inhale up the front body, exhale down the outer line of the back leg. That will work. Okay, undo yourself and then come back to a centered position. Take a few breaths. Okay, next up is a supported Chaturang. And you'll see I just shifted my mat a little bit forward so that I could have my bolster on the floor so that it can slide. It's not on rubber. And then I've placed a chair with a blanket on top, and I've got 2 bricks in front here. Okay. Again, the setups do need to be modified according to your structure. So I'll try and point out for you what you need to pay attention to. You're going to kneel, so you can have ankles here on the bolster, and then you're going to kneel and stick yourself through here so that the pubic plate is just coming up onto the chair seat. Okay, so I'm going to lift up, and I get that pubic plate just on the chair. And the groins, where I hinge at the groins, that's kind of just at the front edge of the chair. Okay, and everything is softened because I've got the blanket there. And then this bolster, because it can slide, I can just shift it so that it feels like the ankles are supported. And what you're looking for is a situation, as mine are in right now, where the knees are not touching the floor. The knees are a weight in this position, and the knees are pulling the tailbone in that direction down. So you're getting this anchor. The knees are anchoring down on that end, and then on the head side, you've got the shoulders and the head kind of anchoring down in the other side. So you get this really nice length through the back body, but I mean, also through the front body. Okay, and then you can position your bricks. You can certainly soften it with a softer prop if that's your preference. Build it up, take it down as needed. I find this 1.5 works quite nice. And then I can also just place my wrists. Okay, if I'm down here, it feels a little bit like a drag. It feels like my shoulders are dragging a bit, but I just lift them up to the side of the brick, and then that feels really nice. Okay, so you want to work something out like this, where you've got support for your forehead, wrists are supported, and then your legs are also supported. Knees are absolutely not touching the ground. Okay, and you should be in such a manner that you can breathe. Okay, if the breath is feeling constrained, then you may have caught yourself on the diaphragm region. So shift yourself a little forward, a little back. See if you need a little more height, a little less height, and work something out where this is quite comfortable. It should feel quite comfortable. Okay, and then just settle into this position. Allow the knees to be a weight and pull the buttock flesh, the tailbone area, down towards the feet. And at the same time, let your arms and your head be a weight in the opposite direction. Inhale, exhale. See where the breath begins and where it goes. Notice the sound of the breath, texture, the rhythm, and then watch where the breath goes. What are the patterns inside that each breath takes? The shape of this asana is quite different than the shape of the other asanas we've been taking. So with this tremendous support underneath your front body, what does that do to the breath? When you exhale, can you feel almost like, see if this resonates, the back body gets irrigated with breath. Okay, inhale, exhale, feel that spreading across the back body. When you have this support under the front body, notice if the breath becomes attracted more towards the back body. Okay, just stay with it. Allow yourself to connect with the rhythm of the breath. Inhale, exhale.